Hey guys, how you doing? Coach Mitch here. Got some news from Tiara. She's one of our awesome candidates who passed the interview. Went on now. She's in her first month of CBPO Academy. Couple things. She got the CO treatment in her face, and I know she says ouch, but she wanted to let me know, to let you guys know she got that part done. Number two is that her first test there, 94%. This lady is focused. She's going to get this done and get her badge and start working for the country. It's a good thing. So, Tiara, first of all, thank you for checking in. I love that. I get these all the time, but I really want to tell people your story so far. Good job on that, my friend. Okay, let's get right into it, okay? 5 reasons why this CBP panel is so hard to understand. The first thing is this: no emotional feelings whatsoever, right? These people are quiet, direct, and unreadable. They don't give you any smiles, no feedback, minimal interaction. This is where a lot of people panic because we're so used to the civilian type interview, right? Hey, how you doing? How's your drive in there? How's your coffee? Blah, 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 right? Very nice type interview. Not so with CBPO. They're not going to give you anything. And this triggers things like nervousness within you, rambling, loss of structure. The nervousness happens because this is a very unfriendly type panel. They're not there to be your friend. Number two, you start rambling because the juice they give you is not welcoming, it's not warm, it's not anything at all, right? The last thing is it causes you to lose structure because there's no real interaction there. They ask, you answer, ask, you answer, ask, you answer. That's how it works. It's the same thing in my coaching program too. I give you that real feeling, not the first time we talk, no. The second and third lessons we go through, that's when I give you the real deal. They're testing you to see if you're going to be composed even without getting help. So why is that? Because when you wear the badge, that's going to be you in real life. You can't go out there asking questions and see what's going on. People are coming to you to have the information they need to whatever situation they're going through. You have the badge. Therefore, you have to be composed, okay? That's why they do that. Number two, a lot of people think that the more they say, right, they get to over-explaining, they miss the whole answer in the first place. They ask you a question, you're here and here and here and here, and you're not keeping track. Now, in my program, we get down to the details. We get details, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every single one of my answers has at least 5 points to it. The reason why is because I want to make sure you understand the process, because they surely understand the process, but we do too, right? Therefore, we give them what's happening, because when you're not trained for this, you're going to get into this where you're talking too long, lose your point of focus, and you never answer the question clearly. I get this all the time from what I call my repeat. So what's a repeat? A repeat is someone who's taken the interview on their own. They come to me later on. I meet them for the first time. We go through some questions. I find out very fast this is what happened to them. They are weavers, going around back and forth. They don't want to hear that. It's not a civilian type interview. In a paramilitary type interview is about facts without a lot of the fluff. They don't want to hear about you not being able to answer a question clearly. They want to clear the facts and go from there, right? Number three is always, I hear this all the time. A lot of you guys, when I first interview you give me this deferment always to CBP policy. What does that mean? CBP policy. It's so generic, right? It's so nebulous. It doesn't mean anything to anybody. A lot of times people say, I will follow the policy. I would do the right thing. That doesn't mean anything to anybody, especially not me. So here's what I want, and here's what they want. They want to have from you a decision. In the decision, they need to have your reasoning. In that, they need to have your judgment. They need to know where are you going with your thinking. I don't teach textbook answers. I teach ingrained, understood. You're going to have complete mastery of every question because that's how I teach you. This is why the 90.4% success rate. We keep that year in and year out because we know what we're doing here. It's important you understand who you're walking in front of, because that Zoom opens up, you give out these generic answers, you're going to come back in 6 months or not come back at all. You waste your time. Do not underplay this interview process. Another thing too with that, a side thing is this. Some of you guys come to me with like 1 or 2 days to prepare. That's not how this works. Give yourself, your career, your future, your family at least 7 days to prepare for the CBPO interview. Don't do it one day. When I hear one day, I'm thinking, okay, they're not really prepared. They really think this thing through, right? Because this panel is going to want your decision making, your reasoning, your judgment. I want that. I stress that very hard. Now, at this point here, you guys, if you want some real coaching, if you want to understand how this process works, go down below into my description, get into my coaching program through my calendar, and I'll show you how this works. This is a process. It is not a joke. It's serious. I'll show you how to do it. Do not give them generic topical answers or you're not going to make it. A huge one here, number 4. This is where people always get themselves in trouble in. When they don't train and don't practice, they have these poor judgment decisions under pressure. They're making poor judgments while under pressure. This is designed to test the way I teach as well. I'm testing your ethics, use of authority, decision making. That's what I'm testing you on, because I know they're going to test you on the same exact thing. So them and me, we're after the same thing. However, they're looking for you. They don't care about you, but I do. I want you to pass. Therefore, I show you how to do it. Because a lot of people do this. They avoid the decisions, right? Oh gosh, they try to play safe with their answer. It's a safe answer. The safe answers are always, I know people have been in the civilian world because they answer in a very safe, non-LEO way, and I know they're not going to take that. Last thing here also too, that do not take ownership. They don't take responsibility. It's a huge thing these days. I know you see out there in real life a lot of people who are supposed to be our leaders and so on and so forth, not taking responsibility. Not so in the CBP interview. You have to take responsibility for your actions and follow through with what you've done. This is a real deal. They don't want to hear hesitation. If you hesitate, it shows lack of confidence to this panel. They don't want to deal with that either. You have to come to this interview ready, locked, and loaded to pass. If you don't understand these things, you're not going to make it. You cannot come in with the civilian mindset. Last thing is this is really simple, guys. A lot of people lack the mission understanding, right? A lot of you guys don't even understand what CBPO does. Sometimes I ask them, well, why do I want to be CBPO? All the uniforms look cool. It's not an answer. That doesn't make sense to anybody at all. You have to have more than that, right? Are they saying things like, I want to serve? Really? Do you really? Everybody wants to serve. That's why you're there for it, right? That's a generic answer. Don't let your competitors say that kind of answer. I want to serve. I want to help people. I want to serve my country. Let them say that. Those are generic. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're truth, right? But they're generics. We don't want to hear stuff like that, right? What I want to hear and what they're going to want to hear is, I want to be aware. I want to have I want to take care of the needs of this country by standing in the gap for its protection. Stuff like that, right? Because in those kind of answers, it means that you are border security aware. You are aware of the border, okay? Number 2, they're looking for this enforcement mindset. I don't know if you have an enforcement mindset if you just tell me, I want to serve. That means nothing to me at all, right? And it means nothing to them at all as well. It shows them that this guy's not prepared. Understanding the responsibility of CBPO, this means you got to understand what the job entails, right? I teach you that in my coaching program as well. I show you how this works. This is a process. Why do they have a 61.4% fail rate? Because people keep walking in there with the civilian mindset. Are they not prepared? Are they giving these little short answers to questions that really desire a long answer? They give these short answers because why? Because they don't know what they're walking into. They're sitting there in the interview, hi, how are you? Waving and stuff and all happy and crap, and they don't want to see that. They're not there for that. These are professionals, paramilitary, law enforcement, federal level. Do you really think they want to see you say, hey, what's going on? And these little topical answers and stuff, it's not going to help you guys out. If you're in it to win it, you got to be serious. Most people don't fail the interview because they are unqualified. Again, listen, most of you do not fail because you are unqualified. You are failing because you don't understand what the panel is actually testing, right? Those are the 5 challenges that are eliminating so many of you. Last word again, if you want some coaching, down below in my description, get into my calendar, get into my coaching. You can do this if you have the right kind of guidance. There's no need to go on that interview, open up that Zoom camera, fail. They tell you come back in 6 months, and most of you don't come back at all. All right, don't do that to yourself. This is serious business. All right, take care, you guys. Coach Mitch, have a good day. Bye-bye.